a good afternoon, good morning to each and every one of you. This is Tech for Senior, February 3rd, 2025. This is episode number 252. I'm Hewie Poplock, and I'll be your host today. Ron's here, but he's my co-host. So I take the accolades, and Ron gets the complaints on the first Monday of every month. We do this, as I said, the first show of every month to give Ron a little time for himself. And if for one reason or another Ron can't be here, I'm all set to go and can handle the show without Ron. It'll be difficult, but I could do it. We need Ron. This is a 1 hour show about technology with a Q&A at the end. I notice that sometimes people sign off when we close up the streaming out to YouTube. Don't hang around. We do have a musical session for closeout, and then we have our Q&A. So you're welcome to stay, and sometimes we get some really good information in that Q&A. Let's meet who's here. Ron, you got any information or anything going on with you?
Nothing. I just wanted to remind everyone that we had a successful fundraiser for January, and thank you again for the very generous donation everybody made. We reached the funding levels that we need, and so that's great. We will keep of course, our coffee fund open for the year, and we do get further donations as the year goes through. So all is good. As the past 5 years. It went really well. Now, I did want to just mention this funding came in after last Saturday, and it's thank you to these following people: Joel Sandberg, Stuart Stout, Liz Milford, and Elizabeth Bradley. And if I've missed anybody, it is my apologies. Sometimes the way you send the money in, you don't put your name on it, so I don't know who it is, right? I can't help that. But anyway, but so thank you, and thanks to everybody for all the great work they've done. And now we can get on with a great season 3. That's all, or season 6. All right, that's all I have to say.
Okay, before I go around the horn with our staff, I do want to say that today, of course, Bob will have his Tech Talk and Beyond. Then I am doing a session on copyright and AI. And then Chris will do Fun with Photos. Today, she's talking about using YouTube to translate videos. Then I'll come back and do upgrading Windows to Windows 11 or not. Should you or shouldn't you? And this is geared towards seniors on whether you should do the upgrade. Then our musical outro with Ray and our Q&A. And with that, Bob, what's going on out in New Mexico?
Expecting 70 degrees this afternoon. It's still cool right now, but I'm not wearing my extra jacket. That's good news.
Yeah, don't forget that this winter isn't gone yet.
We can hope.
Hey, Ray, how are things out in Arizona?
Just like they are in New Mexico, apparently, because it's right in the mid 40s now, and I think I certainly will be in the mid 60s. Might even hit 70 like Bob's saying. So this is a very unusual February weather.
And Bill James is on his Mac. That's why he has such a good picture. And Bill, what's going on in Oklahoma? You're going to have some hot weather today.
Yeah, we're already up to 68. So they predicted that we might get up to 80 today, which that'll be interesting. But other than that, it's a very pretty day, no wind. And so after the show, I'm going to go out and sit on the patio in the sun.
You've been doing anything with AI?
Oh, I've been working on a couple of videos. So that, and I did a PowerPoint using Copilot, which I was surprised how well that worked.
Yeah, I've been using Gamma to do my presentations, and I really like it. It makes it so much easier to create the slides.
Yeah, I found it really quick and easy, and I was able to insert some of the ones I had done myself. But then I had a spare a moment thought, and I went in and asked Copilot to, I put the title that I wanted in the topic, or at least the subject matter, and it produced the slide and inserted it in the place I wanted it.
Okay, and Chris, how's your knee?
Total knee replacement surgery less than 10 days ago.
And she's doing great.
And yeah, I mean, he hasn't caught me video me dancing yet, but
I'm sure she's doing it out of my sight.
it's soon. It's soon. And we just have gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous weather
It's
here
only 82 here.
in South Florida. We walk
Stunning.
outside and say,
Clear.
why do we want to leave? Because, we're planning on getting on a cruise ship and living on a cruise ship for the next several years. But people on that cruise ship are having such fun. Yep, we
And
still want to go.
You're heading towards Alaska in it as well, correct?
Correct. That'll be in July.
In July. Good time to go to Alaska.
That's a
Where
good
are
time
you
to
in
do
South
that.
Florida?
What?
Where are you in South Florida?
We're in Fort Lauderdale, Oakland Park.
I grew up there.
Oh,
I never grew up.
what high school? What high school did you
I
go
don't think I
to?
have either. All right, this is our introduction. We don't want to get too far into the weeds here. And so let's see. Don't forget, Tech for Senior. We're finishing up our 5th year. We're getting ready to go to our 6th season. Don't forget our website at www.techforsenior, no S at the end.com. And don't forget the Tech for Senior Live on Thursday. And let's see, there's a STUG meeting Wednesday, and the presentation is Discover How to Digitize Your Life, a Practical Guide by Michael Malik. Transform your life by transitioning to a paperless, organized, and digitally secure future. Whether you're a do-it-yourself enthusiast or considering hiring a professional digital organizer, this presentation will guide you through your every step of the process. Should be very interesting. And then the Windows SIG is normally the 2nd Sunday of the month. And this month, because of some previous commitments that I have that same Sunday every February, it's going to be on the 16th. So it'll be on the 3rd Sunday and not the 2nd Sunday. I'm going to try to get my newsletter out before this Sunday anyway. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter and the WinSig newsletter. And I also have a tech Let's Talk AI show on the 4th Friday of the month, and it has a newsletter. The premiere video today is taking a selfie with Chris, battery management from me, and Gemini and Docs by Bob. And with that, I think we're ready to get going. So Bob, it's your turn.
Here is my Tech Talk and Beyond for the week ending January 31st, 2025. This week's topic is your phone spying on you right now? Key signs your device may be compromised. In our hyper-connected world, smartphones have become extensions of our personal lives. We store everything on them: contacts, photos, financial information, and even private messages. However, this convenience comes with a potential dark side: the possibility of phone hacking. If you've ever suspected that someone could be spying on your mobile activity, it's wise to stay informed about the most common warning signs. Here are some must-know indicators that your phone might be compromised and what you can do about it. Number 1, sudden battery drain. Modern smartphones come with advanced batteries built to last through the day. If you've noticed an abrupt change in the battery life, one day it's holding charge just fine, and the next it's drained by lunchtime. It might be more than just heavy usage. Malicious software running in the background can consume extra resources, causing your battery to deplete faster than normal. What to do? Check which apps are using the most battery under your phone's settings. Uninstall or force stop apps that you don't recognize or that appear suspicious. Keep your operating system and apps updated, as updates often patch security vulnerabilities. Number 2, overheating without heavy use. Smartphones can get warm when running intensive games or streaming videos for long periods. However, if your device becomes excessively hot during simple tasks, like texting or browsing the web, malware could be working overtime in the background. Overheating may signal that unauthorized processes are consuming significant CPU and memory. What to do? Close out of all apps and see if the phone cools down. Restart your phone and observe whether it continues to overheat quickly. Run a trusted antivirus or anti-malware scan to detect suspicious software. Number 3, unexpected pop-ups and ads. Pop-up ads are annoying, but they can also be a red flag if they suddenly appear out of nowhere or show up even when you're not actively using apps or browsing. Hackers sometimes embed malicious code that forces unwanted ads or directs you to malicious websites, hoping you'll click and unwittingly install more malware. What to do? Avoid clicking on unfamiliar or suspicious links in any pop-ups or ads. Install or enable a reputable ad blocking service. Run security software to detect adware and remove it. Number 4, strange apps or icons you didn't install. This may sound obvious, but it often goes unnoticed if the malware disguises itself as a system update or utility app. Keep an eye on any suspicious apps that randomly appear on your home screen or in your settings. What to do? Regularly review your phone's list of installed apps. Delete anything that seems unfamiliar or that you didn't explicitly install. If an app resists uninstallation, boot your phone into safe mode if possible, and remove it from there. Number 5, unexplained data usage. If you notice your data usage skyrocketing without any change in your habits, malware or spyware could be secretly transmitting data from your device to an external server. Cyber criminals might harvest your personal information, keystrokes, and browsing data. What to do? Check your device's data usage statistics to see which apps are responsible. Disable or uninstall suspicious apps, then run a thorough antivirus scan. Consider enabling usage alerts in your phone's settings for early detection. Number 6, random reboots or slow performance. Ever have your phone suddenly restart, freeze, or operate sluggishly for no apparent reason? Malicious processes can destabilize your system, causing bizarre behavior. While it could be a hardware or software glitch, it's also a potential sign that a harmful program is interfering with your phone's normal functions. What to do? Ensure your phone's firmware and apps are up to date. Clear the cache and consider resetting your phone's settings if issues persist. Consult a professional if abnormal performance continues. Number 7, unusual text messages or calls. Spyware or other malicious tools may send unauthorized text or make calls in the background, sometimes to premium rate numbers. You might notice strange entries in your text or call logs, or you might receive odd messages containing random characters or links. What to do? Block any suspicious numbers immediately. Review your call and text logs from unknown contacts or numbers that appear frequently. Check your monthly phone bill for any mysterious charges. Number 8, suspicious permissions. Have you ever installed an app and quickly tapped allow without checking what it's actually requesting? Over-permission apps can spy on your camera, microphone, location, and more. Reviewing app permissions can help you spot privacy risks. What to do? Go to your phone's permissions settings to review and revoke unnecessary or suspicious permissions. For example, a flashlight app requesting access to your microphone. Only download apps from reputable sources like the official app stores. Be cautious with sideloading apps, installing apps outside official stores, as this increases the risk of malware. How to safeguard your device. Update regularly. Operating system updates often include critical security patches. Keeping your phone up to date reduces vulnerabilities. Install antivirus and malware software. There are reputable security apps that can scan, detect, and remove malicious software. Use strong passwords and biometrics. Protect your lock screen with a complex PIN or biometric feature like fingerprints or facial recognition. Enable two-factor authentication for any account or app that offers it. Email, social media, banking, 2FA is an extra layer of security. Avoid public Wi-Fi for sensitive tasks. Hackers often set up fake hotspots or leverage unsecured networks to capture data. Whenever possible, use a secure, password-protected network or a VPN when accessing sensitive information on the go. Download apps from trusted sources. Stick to official app stores and read user reviews to avoid downloading sketchy software. Monitor your phone bills and bank statements. Look for any unexplained charges or changes that might indicate unauthorized activity. Our phones hold our digital lives. Staying safe in the face of potential spying or hacking means knowing the warning signs and acting quickly. Remember, while some of these symptoms could be unrelated to malware, like a simple battery aging issue or a temporary software glitch, they should still prompt a closer inspection. Awareness is the first step to protecting your device, your data, and ultimately your peace of mind. If you suspect your phone may be compromised, take action right away. Update your software, use trusted security tools, and if needed, consult with a professional. Stay safe, stay secure, and remember, by remaining vigilant, you can keep your phone safer and protect what's most important, your privacy. And the video used in today's Tech Talk at the link listed. Did you know Charles Darwin and U.S. President Abraham Lincoln were born on the same day, February 12th, 1809. In the course of an average lifetime, while sleeping, you might eat around 70 assorted insects and 10 spiders and more. It takes a drop of water 90 days to travel the entire Mississippi River. Blue whales eat 500,000 calories in one mouthful. Just thought you might want to know. I believe in the impossible because no one else does. and that gives me an excellent chance at accomplishing it, thanks to Florence Griffith Joyner. And that's a wrap for this week's Tech Talk and Beyond. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, and thanks for reading, watching, and listening.
Thank you, Bob. Some good advice. And I'm sure there'll be some questions on it. So let's go here. Copyright and AI, navigating the future of creativity. The U.S. Copyright Office's 2025 report explores the intersection of copyright and artificial intelligence, focusing on the copyrightability of AI-generated outputs. I'm Hewie Poplock. The Copyright and Artificial Intelligence, Part 2, Copyrightability, is a report of the Register of Copyrights from January of 2025. You can download it at www.copyright.gov/AI. The report overview, the background is its second in a series addressing AI and copyright issues. The public input, over 10,000 comments from 50 states and 67 countries. And the mission was to promote creativity and free expression in the digital age. Based on an analysis of copyright law and policy informed by many thoughtful comments in response to their NOI, or Notice of Inquiry, the office makes the following conclusions and recommendations. Questions of copyrightability and AI can be resolved in pursuant to existing law without the need for legislative change. The use of AI tools to assist rather than stand in for human creativity does not affect the availability of copyright protection for the output. Copyright protects the original expression in a work created by a human author, even if the work also includes AI-generated material. Copyright does not extend to purely AI-generated material or material where there is insufficient human control over the expressive elements. Where the human contributions to AI-generated outputs are sufficient to constitute authorship must be analyzed on a case-by-case basis. Based on the functioning of current generally available technology, prompts do not alone provide sufficient control. Human authors are entitled to copyright in their works of authorship that are perceptible in AI-generated outputs, as well as the creative selection, coordination, or arrangement of material in the outputs or creative modifications of the outputs. The case has not been made for additional copyright or sui generis protection for AI-generated content. The office will continue to monitor technological and legal developments to determine whether any of these conclusions should be revisited. It will also provide ongoing assistance to the public, including through additional registration guidance and an update to the Compendium of U.S. Copyright Office Practices. Key findings: existing law and human authorship. Adequate legal framework. The existing copyright law is sufficient for AI-related questions. Human authorship essential. Copyright protects original expression created by humans only. As a tool, using AI to assist human creativity doesn't affect copyright protection. Case-by-case analysis. Individual assessment. Human contributions to AI outputs must be analyzed case by case. Prompts insufficient. Prompts alone don't provide enough control for copyright. Human-authored expressive inputs. Original expressions. Human authors retain copyright when their original expressions are included in AI outputs. Derivative works. This concept is analogous to derivative works in traditional copyright law. Prompt and copyright. Prompts as instructions. Prompts convey unprotectable ideas. AI is a black box. Output not directly controlled by user input. No copyright. Prompts alone insufficient for copyright protection. Expressive inputs and copyright. Original art. Users' drawings reflected in AI output are copyrightable. Audio files. Users' audio inputs perceptible in output are protected. Copyright protection. User considered author of their contributed portions. Is there copyright protection for an AI prompt? While prompts themselves could be copyrightable if sufficiently creative, the report concludes that, in general, prompts alone are not enough to grant copyright protection to the AI-generated output because the user lacks sufficient control over the output. Whether humans' contributions to AI-generated outputs are sufficient to constitute authorship must be analyzed on a case-by-case basis. Modifying AI-generated content. Creative modifications. Human authors can obtain copyright for original modifications. Selection and arrangement. Copyright for creative organization of AI-generated material. And combining elements. Merging text with AI images can be copyrightable. Arguments for legal change. Incentives for creativity. Some argued for copyright protection to encourage AI creation. Copyright Office's stance. Copyright clause requires human authorship. AI doesn't need incentives. Sui generis rights proposal. New protection form. Some unique rights suggested for content created by artificial intelligence. Majority opinion. Most commenters and Copyright Office do not support this proposal. Copyright system goals. Additional protection would undermine aims to encourage human authors. A sui generis rights proposal means suggesting a unique set of rights made for a specific situation or group. The phrase sui generis is Latin for of its own kind, so these rights are tailored to fit particular needs that existing laws don't cover. Some international approaches. Clarity in copyright law. Existing principles. Current legal framework allows case-by-case determinations. No new legislation. Copyright Office finds new laws unnecessary at this time. Ongoing monitoring. Office will continue to observe legal and technological developments. Ongoing assistance and guidance. Registration guidance. Copyright Office to provide ongoing assistance with registration. Compendium updates. Regular updates to the Compendium of U.S. Copyright Office practices. And continuous monitoring. Ongoing observation of legal and technological developments. The impact on creative industries. Art and design. AI as a tool enhancing human creativity in visual arts. Literature. AI-assisted writing while maintaining human authorship. And music, blending human composition with AI-generated elements. The future of copyright in the AI era. AI-human collaborations are estimated annual AI-assisted creative works by 2030 will be over 1 million. Ongoing adaptation. Copyright law evolving with technological advancements are 24/7. And human creativity. Continued focus on protecting and encouraging human authorship is 100%. The copyright and AI navigating the future of creativity. It's not as specific as we might want it. They didn't change any laws, and the copyright is still something you have to just figure that if it's AI generated, it is not copyrightable. And with that, we'll turn to Chris and go ahead.
Okay. So are you ready for some fun? I call this fun with photos, but I include videos in that definition. And today I'm going to show you how you can use YouTube to translate videos into foreign languages. YouTube is just a mind-bogglingly useful and amazing tool. This is a really fancy feature. If you want to know all the basics, we did our whole Sunday YouTube show yesterday on the fundamentals of using YouTube to share your own videos. But here is using YouTube to translate. Randy ℙ𝕝𝕗 is the author of This Is True. He's been doing that on the internet since 1994, but he's also the author of residentialcruising.com, which is where we learned about this. So we interviewed him. Okay, so this is on our channel, Randy ℙ𝕝𝕗 on This Is True. And there was lots of comments, and I noticed this one that asked, does this auto translate into German? Aha, that sounded like a challenge.
Yeah.
Yes. Watch this. First of all, you can get closed captions in German. So first I have turned closed captions on by just clicking on this CC, so it's playing here.
This is True by Ray Baxter.
And closed captions is on. Now I can click on settings and subtitles. That's what closed captions are also known as, subtitles. English auto-generated. Click on the little arrow at the end of there, click on auto translate, and I can make it be German.
About 2008. Every week I enjoy Randy's offbeat news items. They make me think and often make me laugh. Sometime last year he started a news site called residentialcruising.com.
So is that cool or what? If you are a native German speaker, this is going to help your understanding of our video a lot. But wait, there's more. I can actually make Jim be speaking German. Now, not in his voice.
Yet.
I'll bet you that's coming. So watch this. I can click on settings and audio track. Notice that it says English original. If I click on that arrow, I can make it speak. I can make the audio be in German.
Erfahren, dass eine Kabine auf dem Kreuzfahrtschiff ℙ𝕝𝕒𝕃 gekauft hat und nun an Bord lebt und arbeitet. Ich wusste, dass Chris daran interessiert sein würde, also habe ich ihr die Information geschickt. Oh ja, sie gefiel ihr so gut, dass sie das Unternehmen kontaktierte und einen einwöchigen Aufenthalt an Bord vereinbarte, um es sich anzusehen. Wir lernten Randy und Kit Casing
Now, it's not just Jim. I can make, now it does not change voices. So here is Randy.
Well, it does change gender voices sometimes.
I am just so fascinated. Yeah, and where I talk in here somewhere, let me see if I can get a place where I'm talking.
Und viele unserer Follower kennen ihn bereits, weil sie ihm folgen.
Oh, it does. It didn't last time I tried this. It was still in a mail.
ℙ𝕝𝕗 hat seit 1994 den Titel „Sich wöchentlich über schlechte Entscheidungen lustig machen“.
Wow. Wow. Now, this is brand new. So it doesn't work for all videos, I think.
And they don't, it doesn't look like they're going back and making any old ones do this. Depending on your channel, some channels have this turned on. I'm sure they've been working with it for a while. Just like closed captions, they don't always work.
Let's see if we can get our friend Ron Brown to speak in Spanish. His videos are on the channel called Tech for Senior. So I'm going to find a video and play it. Learning AI, good stuff. And we hear him speaking in English. Now I want closed captions on. You do that by just clicking on the little CC. And then the captions are in English, but I want the captions in Spanish. It's called subtitles. You click on subtitles and auto translate, and then find the language you want.
This week in episode 2, we're going to talk about prompts. Now, in the description, I'll put the list to
the subtitles are now in Spanish. I want to hear him speak in Spanish, however. That's a setting called audio track. I click on the settings, and audio track isn't there. This is on the Tech for Senior channel. So I wanted to try uploading his same video to the Geeks on Tour channel, see if it made a difference.
So what?
Let's go look. So I go to the Geeks on Tour channel, and I need to go to my YouTube studio. Wait. Great. I go to the Geeks on Tour channel, and to see the video of his that I uploaded, I need to go to my YouTube studio. And content. And here is that same video. I can play it.
Tech for Senior.
I can turn on the closed captions.
Over 50. Well, if you're watching this video, you're probably interested in something about AI. Now, AI can be very confusing. There's so many choices.
And YouTube has remembered my setting to make the closed captions be in Spanish. Now let's see if we can make the audio be in Spanish. Settings, and there is the audio track. Setting, I click on it and choose Spanish.
Sobre cuál recomiendo, cómo instalarlo y cuáles son las ventajas de cada uno. Empecemos. Ahora bien, tengo previsto publicar cada uno de estos videos aproximadamente una vez por semana. Puede que mi programa de producción se desvíe un poco en ese sentido, pero si le das a me gusta y te suscribes, recibirás una notificación cada vez que produzca uno de estos.
Hey, Ron, you're speaking Spanish. So what's the difference? Playing it on one channel doesn't work on the other. There's a setting, and I want to show you that. So I'll go back to my YouTube studio. Here is that video. If I scroll down, I'm looking for a setting called auto dubbing. And it's right there, automatic dubbing. I'll betcha on if Ron goes to his video settings on his channel, that option just won't even be there. It's something that YouTube is just giving to random channels. We had nothing to do with asking for it. But if perchance you do have that setting, turn it on. Pause.
Go.
Just one more thing to show you is just how to turn this on a phone. So this is my Android. This is the Geeks on Tour YouTube studio, and here is a video by Hewie.
I'm Hewie Poplock.
The only thing that's different
First, the good news.
is that the settings button is up on the top rather than down in the bottom. And I can change the captions, no problem. The audio track, I can make Hewie speak French.
Je vais absolument emporter des chargeurs portables dans les avions et ils sont en fait fortement recommandés dans votre bagage à main.
Is that cool or what? Now, just one other thing to know. Assuming you do have that setting and you turn it on and you upload a video, it takes a few minutes, sometimes as much as a couple hours, both for the closed captions language controls and especially for the audio. So if it doesn't work right away, when you find that setting, don't give up, just wait a little while. But this is just amazing stuff. I'm Chris Guld with Geeks on Tour. And I'm just having too much fun. And I just want to realize we put the link to our show yesterday that's all about kind of a beginner's guide to starting a YouTube channel. And that link is in the chat.
Ron, I guess you and I now speak more than one language.
Many languages, many languages. Thanks, Chris. How did I sound? Pretty good?
Yeah. Real well. All right, let's go to the next one here. Is upgrading to Windows 11 the right choice for seniors? As we approach the end of support of Windows 10 in October of 2025, many seniors are wondering if they should upgrade to Windows 11. This presentation explores the benefits, considerations, and steps involved in upgrading. I'm Hewie Poplock. Windows 10 will be going away in October 2025. That's when Microsoft will stop supporting it. This means no more security updates or new features. Your computer might be at risk. Many of you are happy with Windows 10. It's familiar and it works. You might be wondering if you need to upgrade at all. Upgrading can be a big decision. It's a good idea to understand what's changing. Then you can decide what's best for you. This guide will help you understand Windows 11. We'll talk about the new features and how to upgrade. We'll also discuss what to do if you can't upgrade. Windows 11 looks different from Windows 10. The Start button is now in the center of the screen. The icons and menus have a fresh, modern look, but don't worry, you can still find everything. Windows 11 has some great new features, bigger text and icons. Everything is easier to see, especially for tired eyes, simpler layouts. Windows and menus are less cluttered and easier to understand. Improved touch controls. If you use a touchscreen, you'll find it more responsive and user-friendly. Before you upgrade, you need to consider a few things. First, check if your computer is compatible. Windows 11 has specific system requirements. Your computer needs to be powerful enough to run it smoothly. You can find out if your computer is compatible on Microsoft's website. Second, think about your software. Most programs will work on Windows 11, but some older programs might have problems. You should check if your important programs are compatible with Windows 11. Finally, consider the learning curve. Windows 11 is different, but it's still Windows. Most things work the same way. There are plenty of resources to help you learn the new layout. If you decide to upgrade, the process is fairly simple. Microsoft offers a free upgrade to Windows 11 from Windows 10. You can usually find it in your Windows Update settings. Before you start, back up your important files. This will protect them if something goes wrong during the upgrade. If you can't upgrade, don't worry. You can continue using Windows 10. However, remember that support for Windows 10 ends in October 2025. After that, your computer might be at risk. Another option is to buy a new computer with Windows 11 already installed, this can be a good choice if your computer is old or if you want the latest and greatest features. Ultimately, the decision to upgrade to Windows 11 is up to you. Weigh the pros and cons. Think about your needs and your comfort level. What's new in Windows 11? Centered Start menu. The Start button and the taskbar icons are now in the middle of the screen. Not a big deal, but it does change the look and feel of the Windows window. Snap layouts organize open windows for easier multitasking. Widgets, a customizable feed for news and other information. Improved multi-monitor support, a better handling of window arrangements on multiple screens. And here's what I was just talking about, the snap layouts. There's different ways in which you can quickly adjust your screen to hold various windows. The improved multi-monitor support, you see my two monitors is one screen capture here, but it does a really good job with multi-monitor support. And then widgets, just by clicking Windows key and W, the widgets will come up and you can set the various news articles and information and which widgets you would like to have. You can set that accordingly. Senior-friendly features, enhanced voice typing, improved accuracy for dictating text, live captions, real-time transcription for any audio on your PC, and Windows Studio Effects helps improve your appearance and focus in video calls. Should you upgrade? Hardware considerations. Compatibility check. Windows 11 requires a compatible 64-bit processor, UEFI with secure boot, and TPM 2.0. The minimum system requirements are 1 gigahertz or faster with 2 or more cores, RAM 4 gigabytes or more, but make sure you have at least 8. 16 is preferable. Storage, 64 gigabytes or larger storage. 64 gigabytes is not enough. 128 is a bare minimum. 256 gigabytes or larger is your best bet. Software compatibility and other considerations. Software compatibility, some older programs may not work well in Windows 11. So you need to check out all of the programs that you plan on running to see if they're going to work in Windows 11. Learning curve. The new user interface may take some time to get used to. There are some subtle changes. There are some things in the way things work. So you do have to have some learning in order to be proficient at Windows 11. And then a support timeline. Windows 10 support ends October 2025, but there's no immediate need to upgrade until then. How to upgrade? Use the PC Health Check app to verify your computer's compatibility. You should do that first to see if your computer has the ability to upgrade. And if you need to, the PC Health Check app is at the URL that is at the bottom of the page. And then back up your files. Do that. First, you want to make sure you've got a complete backup of all of your data, and if you can, do a complete backup of everything. And then go to Settings, Update and Security, and Windows Update. And that is where you will get your update, and then check for updates and follow the prompts to download and install Windows 11. Is upgrading right for you? Some key considerations. Hardware compatibility. Does your computer meet the minimum system requirements? Software compatibility. Your essential programs compatible with Windows 11. Comfort with change. Are you comfortable with a new user interface? And then some personal needs. What features are important to you? Windows 11, a more modern experience, user-friendly design, enhanced security, and multitasking capabilities. Windows 11, a more secure experience. Windows 11 optimized for touch and pen, a touchscreen navigation, intuitive touch gestures for easier interaction. Pen support, if you use a pen for your computer, improved pen input for writing and drawing, and enhanced accessibility, features designed to make Windows easier to use for everyone, especially seniors. Windows 11, making it easier to connect, improved video conferencing, enhanced features for clearer, more engaging video calls, and enhanced sharing, simplified ways to share files and content across devices. So, are you ready for the future? A decision checklist. Hardware compatibility. Does your computer meet the minimum requirements for Windows 11? Software compatibility. Are your essential programs compatible with Windows 11? Comfort with change. Are you comfortable with a new user interface? And personal needs. What features are important to you? So here are 10 compelling reasons to consider upgrading from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Improved user interface. Windows 11 features a fresh, modern design with a centered start menu and taskbar, offering a sleek and visually appealing experience. Enhanced performance. Windows 11 is optimized to improve performance, leading to faster startup times and better responsiveness compared to Windows 10. Better multitasking. With features like snap layouts and snap groups, you can easily organize and manage multiple open windows for enhanced productivity. Advanced security. Windows 11 comes with more robust security features, including support for hardware-based isolation, secure boot, and TPM 2.0, providing greater protection against malware and cyber threats. Widgets and customization. The new widgets feature provides personalized news, weather, calendar updates, and more, all at a glance, enhancing your daily workflow. 6. Improved virtual desktops. Windows 11 offers better support for virtual desktops, allowing you to create separate desktops for different tasks or projects, making it easier to stay organized. Enhanced gaming experience. 11 includes features like direct storage and auto HDR, which improve game loading times and enhance graphics, providing a superior gaming experience. 8. Integration with Microsoft Teams. Some of you use Teams, some of you use Zoom. Windows 11 integrates Microsoft Teams directly into the taskbar, making it easier to connect with friends, family, and colleagues through chat and video calls. 9. Better touch and pen input. If you use a touchscreen or a digital pen, Windows 11 offers improved support and more intuitive gestures, enhancing the overall user experience. And 10. Ongoing updates and support. Upgrading to Windows 11 ensures you continue to receive the latest updates, features, and security patches, keeping your system up to date and secure. These reasons highlight the advantages of making the switch to Windows 11, from improved design and performance to enhanced security and productivity features. Is upgrading to Windows 11 the right choice for seniors? I'm Hewie Poplock. Of course, if you are considering a new computer, also consider a Chromebook or Chromebox, or turning your machine into a Linux computer, and then you won't have to get a new computer, but you are going to have to learn some new things, and so there's going to be that issue as well. So with that, Ron, I think we're going to end the YouTube for all those on YouTube watching us in the live streaming. We're going to end that now. If you're watching the recording, it will continue on. And what we'd like to say is, by all means, there's room. You can come over and join us in Zoom. But go ahead, Ron. I believe you already have stopped the that, and so we'll turn it over to Ray for a music section. And don't forget the Q&A after Ray. Go ahead, Ray.
Today, I'm going to talk about Marianne Faithfull, a voice for resilience and reinvention. Marianne Faithfull was an iconic English singer and actress born on December 29, 1946 in Hampstead, London. She had a remarkable career that spanned several decades, marked by both incredible heights and challenging lows. Faithfull began her career in 1964 after being discovered at a party by the manager of the Rolling Stones. Her debut single, As Tears Go By, written by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, became a hit and launched her career. She quickly became one of the leading female artists during the British invasion in the United States. From 1966 to 1970, Faithfull had a highly publicized romantic relationship with Mick Jagger, which further elevated her fame. She was also rumored to have inspired some of the Rolling Stones songs, including You Can't Always Get What You Want and Wild Horses. Despite her early success, Faithfull faced significant personal challenges in the 1970s, including addiction to heroin, homelessness, and anorexia. These struggles took a toll on her career and health, but she eventually overcame them and made a remarkable comeback. In 1979, Faithfull released the critically acclaimed album Broken English, which marked her return to the music scene. The album was a commercial success and earned her a Grammy nomination for Best Female Rock Vocal Performance. She received numerous accolades for her contributions to music, including the World Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2009 Women's World Awards and being made a Commander in the Order of Arts and Letters by the French government. Marianne Faithfull passed away peacefully in London on January 30th, 2025, at the age of 78. She had experienced multiple health problems in recent years, including surviving COVID-19 in 2020, which left her with long-term side effects such as memory and lung problems. Today's musical clip is from 1964, when she was only 18 years old, singing her very first hit song, As Tears Go By. Sorry about that, but using a different computer today, and it's not always going to be perfect.
Great choice again, Aaron.
We don't apologize here.
It's the computer's fault, not yours.
That's right.
Okay,
Ray, I thought she looked a little nervous.
Yeah, she did.
I thought maybe because she was 18 then, she was just starting.
She was, yeah, I mean, relatively young, and I think that was lip synced.
Oh, you think?
The song sounded too identical to the recording.
Dubbed.
Yeah.
All right.
Good choice of music. Too bad she's gone. And it's like many musicians, too bad she did get involved with drugs and made some big changes and affected her career and her life, and probably shortened it as well. Bob, you have your hand up for the first question in the Q&A.
I have a question for Chris. Apparently, I have the ability to change to a different language on my videos, but I have a question. If I make the change, does that change the original? And do I then only have...
No.
No, it's in fact, it's just controlled by whoever is viewing the video.
Okay.
You know, they can view it in the original language or in whatever language they want.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just turning on the switch to allow it.
Okay.
Good point. Good question. All right. Anybody else have any questions?
I do.
Ron, your hand.
I can't figure out where the button goes to raise my hand. But anyway, Bob, I want to know who counts the bugs. I want to know who counts the bugs when I sleep. How did that study get done?
Some little person was there while you were sleeping, and they were doing the counting.
All right. So the next question, the next question I had was for Chris. For Chris, well, not a question, a comment. Which addresses Bob's question as well. So I've been doing this for a year now. In fact, see, if you look at YouTube, 70% of the people that watch YouTube are watching it outside the USA. So there is a huge market for different languages, right? If you could produce a video in different languages, then wow, our subscriptions are going to go way up. This is a great thing. So this year I've actually I did 2 of Jennifer's and 1 of my videos, and I actually created it in Spanish and French. I thought 2 good languages. In Canada, there's, French, and so we dubbed, and not on YouTube. I created this. There's a way of doing this now through other software. Some of it's expensive, some not so expensive, and you can actually create the actual MP4 before you upload it in with the dubbing already there, right? And so this is a little different than you're doing now. And what I wanted to do, and I did this, is I actually published it to a different language. And when you upload the video, you have the choice when you go into settings, is you can actually, by default, of course, it's set to English, but you can go and you can actually publish it in any language. But the point that I'm making about this is when you click that button to do it in Spanish, YouTube then says, okay, then you have to have the title in Spanish, the description has to be in Spanish, and it will go out as a Spanish video to Spanish speaking people. And the same we did with French. And I did this with the 3 videos in French, English, and Spanish. Because I thought this was going to be great. They would show this to that whole different set of audiences. Because if you use the dubbing that you're talking about, I think you're showing it to the same group of people. You're showing it to the usual people who would watch your video. And if they want to do it in German, if they have a friend that has German, yes, it'll dub it into German and they can watch it. But it's the same group of people. I want to send the videos out to a different subset of people, which is a different video with a different title, and everything is different. The research that I did, and so far the test ones that I didn't get a big hit on it. It wasn't worth, it was a lot of work. It wasn't worth the effort. So I don't know, this is an interesting one. But as you know, you use Camtasia. Camtasia actually, with their Audiate now, actually has got it working, and it actually is working really good. So I may try it again and see how it goes. But that's really the market I want, is I want to be able to take our videos and put them out to Brazil, to put them out to France, to put them out to some of the 70% of that huge audience that we're not getting, that our videos aren't ever getting to, right? That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also some AI out there that will actually use your voice and translate. And I thought,
but I want to actually be talking. And to be fair to Camtasia and Audiate, now they've really done a good job this last year. They've got it pretty darn good now, and I may give it another try. But that's creating it as a standalone, Bob, video in French, and so you would have to create 3 videos, 1 in English, 1 in French, and 1 in Spanish. You have to do it 3 times over, right? Because you're creating different videos.
Ray, you have your
interesting. Oh, and so the dubbing is, as Chris said, is rolling out slowly across the United States, and it's not available in Canada yet.
Ray, go ahead.
Okay, Hewie, I did like your presentation on the upgrading to Windows 11. There's one other option that folks have, and Carol, in fact, is going to take advantage of this. Both her desktop and her laptop were pretty expensive computers, but they're 1 generation off of being accepted as a Windows 11. So what she's going to do is, Microsoft is offering for $30 a year for the year 2025, for each computer you have that doesn't meet the criteria, they will continue to give you the updates. So it's worth the $60 to keep those two computers going till the end of 2026.
Yeah, that's well, you get 1 year. This if you want a second year, that money is going to be, I
Even
think,
more.
double that.
Yeah, I think by then we'll make the decision and purchase a new one, but that gives us another full year to use the existing computers we have and not spend the money for purchasing a new one.
Ron had asked, what things would compel somebody to upgrade, and that's what I tried to cover in that video.
Good. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Carl, your hand is up.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Let's see, I guess the audio is on. On that, it's not what I was referring to, where when I hear something sponsors a response, that is, if you do the upgrade, the question will be, will you get the new features? You may be able to run Windows 11. I have a Windows 10 machine that I was able to upgrade to Windows 11. There is software to do that, but doesn't mean you get the new features. So that's the question with the Microsoft subscription. But let me ask the other question. One is are there monitors out there that have touch screens? You know, it's just strictly monitors that you buy.
Yeah,
and the
all in
second,
one.
there is?
They call them all in one.
Oh, there's only one?
No, it's the one I'm familiar with. They're called all in one. So
That's what the computer in the monitor.
Yeah.
But Ray,
Oh, no, I'm talking about an external monitor.
Yeah, you can touch it.
you can
Yeah,
buy
that's
a
great.
standalone monitor. You can buy a standalone monitor that's just a touch screen. I
Yeah,
have
they're fairly expensive. One of the computers I had when I first moved here 10 years ago, I had a touch screen, and it finally just it lost its touch. And and I went,
𝕒𝕒𝕂 has one that's a touch screen. We did not buy that one, but it does have. They have a model with a touch screen. I'll look it up.
yeah, and ViewSonic does too, but they're fairly expensive.
Right. The
the
𝕒𝕒𝕂 was not.
The one I got was a Spectre or Scepter, and they did not have a new model, and it was no longer available. So I was disappointed because I would like that. My monitor is an arm length away, so I could, if it was a touch screen, I would use it as a touch screen.
They have I see they have a Dell 32-inch that's $459.
Yeah, that's about right for a touch screen. Yeah.
How many inch? How many inch?
32.
Oh,
That's a fairly I got a TV 32 inches. So
my second question is, can you run the AI program that Google has, what's it called, Gemini, on a desktop, on a PC?
yeah, you're doing it online, so it doesn't make any difference.
Oh, so I can do a search on their I don't know what apps, because I don't have you don't have Play Store on the PC.
Oh no, you just go to gemini.google.com, and there it is, and go ahead and ask it something.
Okay.
You can do that on a Windows 10 machine.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
Okay.
You
Chris,
can
did
also
you have anything else?
you can also install it as a progressive web app.
I don't know what that means, progressive web app.
That means you install it as an app on your computer, and you run it like you do any other app.
Well, that's what I was asking, really.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to your browser and then run it through your browser. You run it directly as an app.
Okay, just do Google it then.
In your browser, when you first have it on your browser, if you go to your settings, the 3-dot menu, if you're using Chrome, you go down to where it says share, and you'll find install as an app. And that installs it as a progressive web app.
So in the upper right-hand corner of my Google screen, I think there's a settings going there.
And the streaming, yes, streaming and sharing. There'll be one if it can be installed, and it will if you're at the actual website. for that
Well, I'm not-
AI, then you
well,
can
I'm running-
install it as
well,
an
I'm-
app.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
running.
Gemini.google.com.
Okay, thank you.
Jim, you had a question?
Well, I was going back now. My software that I use for editing will also do the AI translations. So not to every language, not like YouTube, but and then the other thing is, Ron, you could use something like Camtasia to do a screen recording of a video that you made in English, translated or dubbed into Spanish or whatever language, and then set that up as another one. You'd still have to change the title and description into the language, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I don't know.
Right.
What do you
Well, you can't actually do it. You have to use Audiate to do that. You can do it. Camtasia, yeah. So it's another, as you know, Audiate's another product of Camtasia, but it will do that, and that's the way I did it. As I did it in Camtasia and then sent it over to Audiate, and it does all that, except it just wasn't very good when they a year ago. So they got better at it.
It's probably gotten a lot better.
It's got a lot better. They put a lot of money into Audiate. They really try to flog the thing. So it's actually got useful now, and it does work, so I can I can take my video and I can upload it into Audiate, and I can say make it a French, and I can use my voice or I can use their voice, and it will come out and it will dub it in, and then I save it all as a separate French video and then upload it in French into as a French language video. And that's what I did. And I did it in Spanish, English, and French. So and compared the three.
But you didn't get a whole lot of hits on it, right?
I didn't get, I thought, man, Spanish, it's gonna go like crazy. I'd be sitting there with, another 10,000 subscribers.
You got to start at the very beginning in Spanish because it's, it's a growth thing. It's not going to hit right away.
Maybe.
I think that's the issue.
Maybe you're right, Jim. Maybe you're right. It's just, it was sort of a lot of work, and I wasn't really keen on doing it for the little bit of effort I got back. But maybe
too much work.
Too much work.
You're retired. Semi.
Okay, Roberta, you have your hand up.
Ron, you're going to get your coffee cup in pesos.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You need to have somebody that's speaking listen to that translation, because
you just
Roberta,
muted Roberta.
Muted yourself, Roberta.
did do that. Somebody did it back. You need to have somebody listen to the Spanish version that's a Spanish speaker or French, because half the words, like when I translate with Google, half the words of Spanish people don't know what they are.
Roberta, you're absolutely correct. And that's one of the problems in doing it, is that I don't speak Spanish. And you're absolutely right, is I don't know how that actually sounds. I'm assuming it's going to be okay. One thing I will tell you, though, in your when you play a YouTube video back, you can control the playback speed, and you can actually adjust that playback, which corrects that problem. All right. So because that actually does solve that, because then if you're a Spanish speaking person, you can speed it up. So, that sounds pretty good now, and it works, but I agree with you. And that's one of the problems I don't have an answer for, because I don't know how fast Spanish people speak. I don't know.
It's not only the speed, but sometimes the accuracy of the translation is, I think, what she's referring to.
Yeah, well, that's true, but it's also the speed. The speed was a big problem I had, and I sent it to a few of my friends that did speak Spanish, but they were English speakers. I don't know really how well they spoke Spanish, but I never got any complaints on the videos people didn't like the translation. I didn't get any comments on anything how bad it was. It's just I didn't get a lot of comments, right? I didn't get a lot of people who watched it.
Murray, you have your hand up.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Mute. There, I should be unmuted. Anyway, Ron, if you want Brazil, you're going to have to add Portuguese to your repertoire there.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, but one of the things that you'll find with the translation is that I don't think the speed was really the problem, because I know when I took French training, things I complained to the teachers about was that all the videos that they that they showed us for learning, the French people spoke so fast. And I asked the teacher about that. She said, well, have you ever listened to how fast young people speak in English? And she's right. They speak way faster than we do.
Yeah, and you know that some of the videos that the young people are doing, they're also speeding up because they want a shorter video, but they want to get a lot more material in. So some of them do speed it up on top of the fact that they do talk fast. George, you have your hand up, but before you speak, I want to thank you for inviting me to the Victoria Computer Club to do a presentation, which I did last week. Great group. We had a nice group in your hall as well as online, and thank you for inviting me. Go ahead with your question.
Well, it's a suggestion, because you can install Google Translate on a phone, and you could have the video, the YouTube speaking Spanish, and at the same time use Google Translate on your phone to translate it back into English. And then you can see how good the translation is, even if you don't speak the language. I used to do this with documents that when Babelfish was the translator we all used, and I had legal documents, and I used to translate them into the foreign language, and I didn't understand whether they were any good. So I'd take that foreign language document and translate it back into English and adjust the wording until I finally got a translation that made sense when it was retranslated back. And I don't see why you couldn't do that in Google Voice or in Google Translate.
But boy, that's an awful lot more work.
That's
Not
a lot
worth
of
it.
work,
Yeah,
George.
not worth
No,
it.
it's they'd be simultaneous. Like you'd have the phone beside your. Oh, you guys, have I got to do a demo of this?
Yeah, let's make a video about it.
Okay.
Thank you. Carl, I think you're our final question. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a little humor. Do you remember years ago when they would have somebody on a stage on TV and they were different languages, and you would tell a story to the first person who would then translate it to, say, French, and then the French person would translate it to somebody who spoke Spanish. And when you got all the way through, it was nothing like the first story.
That happens with English. If everybody speaks English, you do the same thing.
Right.
What comes around at the end is nothing like what they started with, even though without translation.
Yeah, lawyers know that from somebody telling them what happened at a crime scene. You ask 3 different people and you wouldn't think it was the same crime.
Yeah, but when you have the exact wording and you speak it to another language and they take that same written language, you're not really changing. You're not doing it by thought. You're doing it from writing, but the translation, things do change. And sometimes if you go from English to Spanish and then back to English, it can be totally different.
Well, the issue is interpretation is what you're saying too.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, I want to thank everybody for joining us. This has been a great meeting and lots of good information and some great questions. Thank you all for being with us. And don't forget, Thursday is Tech for Senior Live. Wednesday is the STUG meeting. And a week from Sunday is the WinSig. And don't forget Geeks on Tour. You should be signed up for their email so you know when they're going to be online. So thanks. Take care, everybody. Ron, you have to close the meeting.